fuera porque vivo en un nido de cucarachas, me hubiese puesto. En el momento en el que se cerró el directo, me hubiese ido a tomar por culo la cama. Pero no tengo ese derecho. Gracias a Dios. Ah, que Dios no existe. Ni el cielo ni el infierno. Solo existimos nosotros hasta que nos muramos. Que directamente es que no me interesa en la historia ya. No quiero saber nada. Le doy en automático.
Hook ropes?
Mientras
As in rock climbing
tumbo así.
equipment? Yes. How much for your whole stock? Oh, the whole thing? Let me see. That would be 30,000 mora in total. Deal?
Deal.
Wait, really?
What, you want me to drive down the price? We just need these as fast as possible. Thanks.
Oh, no problem at all. I'll even pass along some information on the house. These ropes are usually used by rock climbing enthusiasts. If you want to learn, Roca's the person you want to ask. All right, that's everything. Here you go.
Now we need the obsidian. Let's go talk to the traveling merchant Vichama mentioned.
Excuse me, do you sell obsidian?
Why, yes. I've got a chunk for sale right over there.
Perfect. Is that the only one, though? We actually need two.
That might be tough. Tell you what, I'll take a look through these boxes over here and we'll see what we can find.
Thank you so much. We'll wait here.
Relax. Everything's going according to plan.
I know, it's just... I could tell Vichama feels the same way about his... Kachina always carries all sorts of shiny stones with her. If I was the one trapped in the night...
Well, would you look at that? I did bring an extra. Here you go, young lady.
Perfect! Thank you. How much do I owe?
If you hadn't shown up, these stones would have just sat here collecting dust. Here you go. By the way, I heard you mention Vichama. How's he doing? Malco's been gone for 5
Do you know what happened between them?
I heard about it in passing while I was out drinking one night, but I don't know all the details. Malco was an amazing fighter, capable of knocking out multiple opponents in a single hit. While Vichama excelled it 5 years ago, they both emerged triumphant in the pilgrimage and were but on the eve of battle. The Abyss launched an attack on their tribe, and Vichama suffered an injury.
Then what happened?
The team agreed that he couldn't fight the Abyss in his condition. Vichama didn't argue. He knew going to the front lines with an injured leg would make him a burden in battle. It's just... Malco and the others ended up facing hordes of abyssal monsters in numbers that far exceed. Vichama went into a deep depression after that. He blames himself for everything. Oh, you're not wrong. But it's possible he chooses to blame himself. Not because he did something wrong. I've tried convincing him to move forward, to stop dwelling on the past. The Abyss has caused so much suffering, and some wounds never heal. I wish there... Anyway, that's the gist of it. Maybe you could help him talk things through sometime. I would really appreciate it.
Eso ahí.
No one can catch me.
Todavía estoy vivo. Qué asco. Toda la gente que muere. Qué mierda. La vida es una caca. Parte.
Did you get everything?
Yep, it's all here.
I've made all the necessary adjustments. As agreed, I'll help you find Kachina's ancient name, and then you return. Go ahead. After Malco fell, I scoured the battlefield to see what happened. It turned out he wasn't bested by some impossibly powerful foe. If I had been there, I would have been able to sense the danger. I could have warned them not to advance. I've always blamed myself for what happened. But when you told me about Kachina, I realized there's a chance Malco might also be alive, fighting for survival in the Night Kingdom.
But that happened several years ago, right? The Pyro Archon said all life within the Night Kingdom eventually becomes one with the...
There might not be much hope, but I still have to try. Malco and I promised each other, even if we never... All right, let's get to it. I'll start searching for the conceptualized version of Kachina's ancient name. If you see any fragments scattered around the area... Make sure you prepare yourselves for battle. As I said, the stone will link the mortal realm to the Night Kingdom. The abyss will likely...
Look at that golden thing! It must be one of those fragments Vichama mentioned. Let's get closer! Whoa, monsters incoming! Watch out, everyone! Rest and rebuild!
Propagate!
Allow me!
Hey, you hear? Gather! Propagate!
How much longer, Vichama?
Not long. We're getting close.
Vichama!
Quick, take it! I found Kachina's ancient name. Hang in there, Malko. Just a little longer.
Something's not right. The power of the Abyss is
The Abyss is corroding his body. Vichama, you can't keep going. You'll die.
I should have died 5 years ago. I just need a little more time. Please, I'm almost there. Thank you.
Whoa, watch out! The power of the Abyss is strong.
this power.
Hanging in there?
Malko. No! Why can't I find him? Why?
We can't wait any longer. Pull him away from the stone, Mualani.
I already tried, but the power of the Abyss has him in a chokehold. It's like he's tied to the stone with an invisible rope.
In that case, we have no choice. I'm sorry, Seat Lolly. Get back!
Chaska, wait!
Ouch! What happened just now? It looked like the spirit speak.
The stone's power was spiraling out of control. The only way to stop it was to destroy it. You were all caught in the shockwave of the explosion.
Give us a heads up next time, will you? You're lucky we managed to dodge it.
I thought I said to get back.
Yeah, barely a second before you made it go poof. Not everyone has your reflexes, Chaska.
Okay, I'll be more careful next time.
At least Kachina's ancient name is still in one piece. Wait. Vichama!
Vichama!
I couldn't find Malko's ancient name. It must be completely gone by now. Once your ancient name disappears, there's no coming back. From the very beginning, I knew there was a slim chance, and now... it's too late to save him.
Vichama.
I'm sure he's heard enough condolences over the years. Let's just give him some space.
Huh? What's that in your hands, Vichama?
Huh? This is...
Hey, Malko. Got any strength left?
Not enough to swing a sword, but to say a few last words. Sure.
Too bad. No one will get to hear them. I never thought I'd actually die on this mission. Not that I'm afraid to die.
Guess I have something to be thankful for then. My parents died a long time ago. They won't. Pisak! Always had to beat me at everything, didn't you? Right to the end, you were never one for... Maybe you're right. Maybe no one will get to hear our last words. Vichama, I'm so glad you didn't come with us. Don't be sad. Just keep on living. For the both of us.
Pobrecito.
Yo creo que era peor ver esto que simplemente dar por hecho que estaba muerto y ya está.
Ya. Y se nota que son pareja.
Was that a memory?
Seems like we were able to salvage something after all.
Of course. Seeing him, Hearing his voice again, it makes me unbelievably happy. But it also brings with it an even deeper pain.
A deeper pain? Why?
Malco was always the type to put on a brave face. But in that memory just now, his hands were shaking. And his smile. For all these years, I regretted not being able to fight alongside him to the end. And now I know, at the end of his life, he was thinking the same thing.
Vichama.
I'm fine. Actually, I heard Chief Wyna wasn't really on board with your plan to go to the Night Kingdom. When you asked for my help, I hesitated too. I knew helping you find your friend's ancient name meant leading you one, but I also understood why you had to try. Everyone has regrets in life. Once allowed to fester, guilt strips us of our most valuable qualities as warriors. In that sense, we might as well choose the braver path from the very beginning. If I could do it all over again, I would have followed Malco to the front lines no matter what. Even with an injured leg, there was that way. Even if the outcome stayed the same, I still would have fought alongside him to the end. There are critical junctures in life, and if you don't seize the chance to act, there's no going back. That's something I had to learn in hindsight. But you're still at the crossroads of your journey, so...
Thank you, Vichama. I feel even more determined now. I promised I would find her, and I intend to keep that promise.
That's good to hear. Strange. My body...
Once abyssal corrosion enters the body, a portion will fuse itself to your internal organs. Even though the Traveler possesses power... Thanks to him, though, you were only briefly exposed. Slowing your breathing and controlling your emotions should help you keep the symptoms in check. Just speaking from experience, that's all.
Anyway, we've recovered Kachina's ancient name, so we're off to a great start. Let's get Vichama back to his tribe and tell... and apologize for destroying the Spirit Speaker Stone.
Koichi, are you really gonna just stand there like that?
I think you know exactly what I'm trying to say, Uncle Wyna. I can...
Honestly, it's just one thing after another with... They're back.
Koichi? What are you doing here?
Don't play dumb with your own sister. You know exact... My apologies, everyone. I just need to borrow Chaska for...
I'll be just a moment.
Who is that?
Koichi, Chaska's younger sister. Although the two aren't actually related by blood, it's kind of a long story. It's not really my story to tell, but I guess it's not a secret. You see, Chaska was actually raped. She was afflicted with a rare disease when she was a child, and abandoned in the wild as a result. The Abyss found her out there. All up, that strength of will pushed her to survive. But it also planted a seed of conflict within her. Eventually, she was adopted by the Cuckoo Source. Wherever they went, she followed.
For some reason, Paimon can totally imagine that.
Well, when Chaska finally returned to human society, it was Koichi's parents who adopted her. At the time, Chaska still had a habit of getting into fights.
Ah, I remember those days. One of those fights was definitely with me. Eventually, she found a way to rein in that desire to fight. And now she's who people call to resolve conflicts. It sounds like she still argues with Koichi, though. Don't siblings usually stop fighting?
That's partly my fault. Koichi asked me to stop Chaska from doing anything dangerous, but you probably know by now, once Chaska makes up her mind.
Oh, I get it. No wonder you tried to talk us out of going to the Night Kingdom.
I'm all for your adventure. You need to take risks when you're young, because by the time you're my age, you couldn't attempt something like that. Still, I can understand where Koichi's coming from. In the end, nobody wants to sit back and let a loved one put their...
All right, it's just the two of us now. You have 1 minute to explain yourself.
I don't have anything to say. You don't have to approve, but you should know I only do what's necessary.
That attitude is exactly the problem. It's like you don't care. You try to sneak off to the Night Kingdom behind my back.
Well, technically I am going abroad, right?
Again with the excuses! We agreed, didn't we? There are 4 levels of danger. If it's not something urgent, you can only engage in level 2 danger and below. You can only go up to level 3, but a trip to the Night Kingdom? If that's not a level 4, I don't know what is! And you were just going to sneak into the place without saying anything!
What do you mean, sneak into the place? I always planned on walking in there with my head held high.
You bought off Uncle Wina, didn't you? He promised me he'd stop you.
You feel like he went back on his word. What if I told you my mind was made up, and there was nothing he could have done?
Oh, I knew it! So he did try to say something.
This is important. If you were in my shoes, you'd make the same decision.
You don't know that? I'm a doctor, and I handle logistics. If you're going to waltz into a dangerous situation where you could lose control at any moment, it's my—
All right, whatever. Anything else?
What do you mean, anything else?
Time out. Is this one of our normal arguments or serious?
Chaska, does it sound like I'm joking?
Then you need to know something. What happened to Kachina was—
But the person you become when you lose control, that's all—
That's a different issue. You said it yourself. A person is only as good as their morals. If I want to live in that land—
I've also told you that managing your condition is equally important.
Sometimes you have to make sacrifices. All right, let's stop this here. If we keep going, I might actually have to get serious.
Is that a threat? That sounds like a threat to me.
Koichi!
So, you're really going to go, no matter what I say?
Then support me. I'll be back.
Chaska. So, that's it. Why'd you have—
You two are something else.
Something you wanted to say?
I know you aren't related by blood, but you two sure are similar.
Really?
You know, I said that very thing to Koichi not too long ago, and sure, it's not my place to get involved, but I will say this. Try to spend a little more time with your sister.
Thank you.
Anytime. All right. If you're done with the Spirit Speaker Stone, you might as well hand it over. According to Kinich, it's an important ceremonial artifact, so it'd be—
about that.
If only Tone Deaf Bard was here, he could have repaired it just like the Holy Liar.
It might be in a few more pieces than you remember.
Huh? I see. Sounds like it was an urgent situation. If someone's life was on the line, then you— Still, Citlali's going to be a nightmare to deal with now that you've broken her stuff. I'll explain everything to her later. Stay safe out there in the Night Kingdom, okay? I'll wait here for your safe return.
We're back! We found Kachina's ancient name, too!
Well, it's fairly complicated.
The Fatui again? We can't go anywhere without—
But what if the Fatui finds out you've lost your power? Won't they try to take advantage of the situation?
That's why it has to be our little secret. Look, I wish I could offer you some sort of consolation, but I won't lie to you. With still, all you need to do is focus on your goal.
I can also step in on the Pyro Archon's behalf. There's a limit to what I can accomplish, but I'll help you however I can.
There's no need to be so modest, Yan-san. Your incredible strength has long been a well-known fact. You're the pride of your tribe.
Porque acaba de decir que tiene que usar su poder para mantener la llama y que ahora mismo no tiene poder. Y entonces el otro le dice, pero si ahora viene la Fatui, no podrá hacer nada. De hecho, por eso tiene que ser un secreto. Esta está más muerta que viva.
Archon, I'm sorry about before. You have so much on your...
You have nothing to be sorry about.
Por
We
eso
all
no
get
está
overwhelmed by our emotions. Well,
en el banner.
now that we have Kachina's ancient name, let's go track her down.
Espera. Digo yo, estaba alguien escuchando y ahora sabe que pueden atacarla.
¿Te imaginas?
What is this place? Hey, isn't that Atea's talisman?
Good eye. This is where I store all the various mementos I've collected.
Whoa. I've never seen this place before. There's so many things in here.
It looks like there are items from every tribe. Collecting them must have taken a lot of effort.
I suppose you could think of it as a hobby of sorts. In Natlan, everyone grows up listening to the stories of heroes, and physical items do a far better job of preserving those stories than our own memory. Now, I still have some preparations to make for the ceremony, so feel free to take a look around in the meantime. If you're curious about an item, I'm more than willing to tell you about its origins.
All right, we'll have a look. There are so many jars and potions around.
No, those belong to the Masters of the Nightwind. They're ceremonial tools used to amplify the Yamaya is an expert in this field, and she taught me a lot. Even though she appears stoic, and the tools you see here are quite traditional. The contents of the jars aren't all that special. Oh, except the big jar in the middle.
Ooh, must be something really cool. What?
Grape juice.
Huh?
It's quite tasty, although...
This is Atea's talisman.
I'm sure you're familiar with this one already. Atea was rarely ever with...
Hey, there's a fishing rod here. It must have belonged to the people of the spring.
That's right. It belongs to a legendary fisherman named Matavaru. He and I met in a tavern. He told me about a particular kind of giant fish, and in his eyes I saw a hunger and a strong fighting spirit.
So, did he do it?
The next time I saw him, he was covered in scars. It turned out the fish he sought had been corroded. He managed to kill the fish, but sustained a serious injury. And can a fisherman claim victory if he fails to bring back his catch? That's...
Well, Paimon thinks he won.
That was my answer as well. The experience was far more... In the end, he didn't want his tools to go to waste.
Wait, that means you also know how to fish.
Maybe we can go head to head. The powder still needs some time to settle, so let's wait a little long. Well, What do you think of my collection?
Yeah, if each item represents a different story, seems like Natlan's really been through a lot. Does every item hold a special memory, just like Atea's talisman?
That's right. The items in my collection actually serve a similar purpose to the ancient names. They demonstrate the true shape of time.
The shape of time?
Most people perceive time as a linear concept, almost like a straight line that can only move forward. But there's also a different theory, one that I believe to be closer to the truth.
At once? Paimon's not sure she...
Let's say your journey ended right now. Thinking back on your experience in each nation, which one would you say was exactly, even at the end of your journey, the things you experienced along the way don't cease to exist? Take out a portion of that journey, and you would likely make very different decisions. The future is the same way. It exists even though it has yet to come to pass. We just lack the means to Of course, there are those with the power to foresee the future. They simply call it by a different...
that does kinda make sense.
Humanity excels at living in the present, but too often we forget the past, while the pilgrimage and the Night Warden Wars lead us to a better future. Only by uniting the people of Natlan across countless eras can we fight back against an enemy as formidable as the Abyss. To come up with such a set of rules, the first Pyro Archon must have possessed a level of insight. That's correct. At first, he was a mortal man with no special power. After he ascended to the divine, namely a framework through which ordinary people can ascend. By holding the pilgrimage, we're able to determine the strongest among us. And when that person ascends to the divine throne, in addition, the sacred flame will grant them significant knowledge and memory of this land. After all, that's how I came to know.
So, it all comes down to the power of the divine throne and the... Wait, is that a family portrait?
Yes. That's my mother, father, younger sister, and the little saurians we raised. I turned a piece of my dad's leather armor into a canvas and commissioned a famous artist to paint our likeness.
Your sister is so cute! It looks like the two of you are really... Paimon was having a hard time thinking of an Archon as an ordinary person, but seeing this portrait, it kind of makes sense. It really doesn't look like there was anything special about you before.
A little late for that question, don't you think?
Sorry! Paimon's so sorry! Paimon's mouth works faster...
It's all right. I'd never get upset over no matter what others may say. My past is a precious part of my identity. Becoming the Archon doesn't mean you sever ties with your family. The position just comes with a lot of responsibilities. So my father made the most delicious stew, so my sister would often bring me a large pot of his cooking, and he would sit on a blanket and eat it. One time, we didn't close the door securely, and the saurians you were raising ran into... My sister immediately burst into tears. The two troublemakers were going for the meat, but when they saw my sister's distress, I still remember the way they laid there, sulking like a pair of children, even after making such a mess.
Wow.
Isn't that what being a family is all about? As the Archon, I made a vow to defend this nation.
Well, what happened after that? This portrait looks pretty old.
I believe she ended up working as an architect and artist. She built... Anyway, that's enough about me. Now that the powder is settled, we can begin. Place the ancient name up there, and then we'll begin. Surely as the echoes of life resound, ancient name, take us to your fated bearer.
Am I hallucinating again?
Kachina, are you okay?
Huh? I'm not seeing things, am I?
It's okay, Kachina. It's just us. We're trying to find a way to bring you back.
Everyone, You have to listen to me. I've been investigating the Night Kingdom this entire time, and I figured out what's wrong. The Wyup is being affected by the Abyss. I was waiting for the Wyup to send me back, but then this really strong monster came in and it almost killed me. The Wyup saved me, even though its power is weakening. So I've been hiding from the monsters while trying to find a way to help. The Night Kingdom has become a huge mess, though. I keep hearing these awful sounds.
Don't listen to those sounds, Kachina. The Abyss is trying to strip you of your sanity. All you need to do is stay safe and wait for us. We'll be there shortly.
It's okay. I feel so much better now that I've had the chance to talk to you guys. I've never been strong or special at all, really. So I don't blame anyone for forgetting about me or leaving me behind. I'll find a way back. You don't have to put yourselves in danger to come.
You're always like this, Kachina. Now's not the time to act tough. We're coming for you. I don't know what lies the Abyss has been feeding you, but I'll tell you something right now. You're a victor of the Night Warden Wars, a hero of Natlan. All you need to do is wait for us to rest.
I'm really scared. Still, I don't want you to put yourselves in danger.
All you need to do is place your trust in us, just like you always have. No one fights alone. We're not leaving you behind.
Yeah, we're so close. We can't call it quits now. Thank you. Be careful.
Looks like we've lost contact. Now comes the most dangerous part. You have to traverse this entrance to the Night Kingdom was left behind after an abyssal invasion. Even a brief amount of time inside could expose you to corrosion.
I know. I'm prepared for that possibility.
All right. Then I wish you all the best. I'll tell Koichi to be ready just in case. She's very experienced in dealing with that face you just made. Don't tell me.
No, I just feel bad for
I'll go with them too, Archon. The more people, the stronger the...
Thank you so much for your help, everyone. It really means a lot that you're willing...
Now that I've lost my power, I won't be able to provide much practical support. But I can still keep an eye on the Eon-san. I know it's unlikely, but if you encounter a situation you can't handle...
That won't happen.
I hope not.
So we're underneath Natlan right now? It looks...
That's because in the distant past, Natlan was home to an incredibly advanced civilization. Humans only established their own society after the fall of the...
So these are Saurian ruins? Wait, you mean like the elemental sovereigns? They had their own...
Yes, a really long time ago. Very few records have survived until now, so no one really... These ruins have been abandoned for a long time. But with the recent increase in Abyss activity, the installations around...
So what you're saying is... We're not...
No. It's going to be obstacle up...
Why are you all laughing like that?
It's the pre-adventure excitement kicking in, right?
Of course. I'm eager to get started.
Then let's go. We won't let anything stand in our way.
seems like the road ends here. How should we get across?
As a professional trainer, I think you could stand to build up your endurance, Paimon.
Professional trainer? Paimon thought you were a warrior from the Collective of Planning.
Well, that goes without saying. But I actually work as a sports coach. I provide...
Those guys look familiar.
We've fought them before. Let's go. Show no mercy.
Stabilize!
Rest and rebuild!
Congratulations! Scatter!
Gather!
Allow me!
Propagate! Yeah! Yeah! Yeah!
Solidify!
Whoa! The place we need to go seems really high up.
Gather!
Hold the line!
This is order. Stabilize.
Terminate!
Gather.
Rest and rebuild!
Propagate!
I will have order. Stabilize.
Hold the line!
Propagate! Spring force! Scatter! Propagate!
This is the final stretch. We just need to climb up, and we'll be there. Nothing to it.
Easy for you to say.
This must be the entrance the Pyro Archon told us about. The one ripped open by the abyss.
Yes. There's something in the depths of this place that feels familiar, yet also foreign.
We actually have to go in there? Okay, Paimon just needs to psych herself up. Don't push her through before she's ready.
Uy, que se me cae como.
Hey! You don't have to drag Paimon! You're pulling too hard!
Looks like we made it. This is the Night Kingdom.
It looks so different from what I imagined.
That overflow of energy is probably what trapped Kachina here in the first place.
From this point forward, everything we know about the real world no longer applies.
Paimon's more worried about how we're gonna make it out. We obviously can't go back the way we came.
Do you see that patch of light on the ground? It's shining down from that fissure in the sky.
Oh yeah, right in front of us. So that's coming from up there?
Just like I said, our real-world knowledge doesn't apply here. We fell all this way, yet came... If this was the real world, we'd have to climb our way back up to the entrance.
That's it? Right. We still got a job to do.
So that means all we need to do is find Kachina and...
Exactly. This light is streaming in from the real world. It's a link between the two realms.
The terrain looks difficult to navigate, and the visibility's not great either.
Yeah, these floating black things don't look super friendly either.
Those are all manifestations of abyssal power. Be careful.
Ghost! A talking ghost!
Calm down, I'm here to help. You're the ones who helped Vichama, right? Yes, I'm Vichama's friend, Malco. I was completely lost to this realm until I sent... It's like it was seeking me out, attempting to reassemble the pieces of who I used to be. I'm sorry I can only appear before you in this imperfect form.
No, we should be the ones apologizing. If the Spirit Speaker's stone hadn't become corrupted, but we had to destroy it. Otherwise, Vichama and his tribe would have been in danger.
Of course. Thank you for protecting him. Under the power of the stone, it felt like our souls were connected. Turns out even our regrets were exactly the same.
Whether in triumph or death, you want your best friend by your side.
Exactly. That may not be in the cards for us, but it's not too late for you. You're looking for a young girl from the Children of Echoes, right? She's being chased by an embodiment. I'd like to help her while I'm still in this form, so follow me. Be careful. This place has been severely corrupted.
Paimon didn't realize it had gotten this bad.
It's like a seething volcano ready to engulf our world at any moment.
Ouch!
Quick, get back here. You can't go wandering off. Stick close to me. My power will be able to ward off attacks for the time being. We won't be able to keep this up. Let's try another route. This way.
Me voy a por el fantasma.
Not good. More monsters.
We shouldn't waste our time on them.
Yeah! Germinate! Yeah!
Solidify!
Oh, Paimon can't see anything!
It's easy key to get lost here. Just stick close.
Did you hear that?
What?
Never mind. It was probably just my mad.
Don't scare Paimon like that!
I heard it too. It was a voice from the abyss.
What did it say?
Doesn't matter. It certainly doesn't harbor good intentions.
Paimon just heard it too! Let's keep going. Paimon wants to get out of this place!
We're here, Kachina!
honey?
Looks like our reunion will have to wait until we take care of the—
Good idea. Let's go!
Solidify!
Allow me!
Propagate!
You're here! You're finally here! Thank you so much! The monster can appear from anywhere. It almost caught me. The YF's power helped keep me hidden, so I just tried to stay out of sight.
Had a girl. You did so well. And
should we start heading back then?
Actually, I have a request. Will you come visit the YF? I can't exactly put it into words, but something—
That was the Pyro Archon's theory as well. Everything we've seen—
In the Night Kingdom, there are 6 main totem poles representing the Wyab of each tribe. You can think of them like the body of each Wyab. Additional totem poles, like the ones around here, serve as proxies to which there are countless proxies scattered around the Night Kingdom. Through them, the Wyab can extend their consciousness. But if a proxy were to become severely contaminated, then a soul could become lost within—
Judging by the current situation, I don't think we're dealing with just one contaminated proxy. Even if we could drive back the abyssal—
Still, we can't just leave the YF to suffer. It's protected me this whole time.
I agree. We might even manage to draw out the monster that's been hunting Kachina. Getting rid of the monster might slow down the deterioration of the Night Kingdom.
Kachina? What's wrong?
Nothing. Just a headache. And that voice—
Maybe we really should leave. Kachina's already been—
No, I'm fine. I don't plan on listening to that. Just up ahead. I'll lead the way. Besides, I can still fight.
Listen to me, Kachina. We'll come with you. But that's because we want to help the Wyab. You don't have anything to prove either. It's okay if you reach your limit.
All right. The sooner we get this—
We've already come all this way. So we might as—
Let's go. This way.
I'll stay here and try to stall the Abyss monster.
All by yourself? That's too dangerous.
It's all right. I may not be as strong as that monster, but I don't have much time left. If you're anything like my friend, I'm sure you're not particularly fond of— So go. Achieve your goal. And return to the world—
Thank you for everything.
You're a true hero.
Thank you. No one fights alone.
Gather!
Does your head still hurt? Let me help you walk.
I'm fine. You should know I'm made of stronger stuff than that.
Wyatt? Wyatt! I'm back! My friends and I are here to heal you. Wyatt, can you hear?
So we were right. The contamination is already... Alright, get ready, everyone! Time to purge the abyssal energy from this place!
Careful. We've got company.
Already?
You really think that puny soul could slow me down? He tried to get in my way, so
You killed me!
He would have dispersed with or without me. Rather than worry, you may have defeated others of my kind in the past, but underestimate me now. No, the power of the Abyss is intoxicating. The destruction it seeks, Captain. I thought this naive little girl was an exception, but it turns out humanity is... That is the tragedy of your short lives. You understand nothing of our ancient names, pride, friendship. All empty ideas invented to give you the Pyro Archon created those grandiose ideals out of pure selfishness. Anything to avoid share. Don't believe me? Then ask yourself, why is the Pyro Archon strong beyond measure, while you, Kachina, remain so pathetically weak?
Kachina! Give me your hand. Feel that? I'm right.
Thanks, Moalani. You're right, because I'm not alone anymore.
You're right. Maybe comforting ideals don't have any power, but you also couldn't be more wrong. You've never had to work for your own strength, so you will never understand—
What?
The courage we have to stand before you and not back down? The power lies not in the ideal itself, but in our commitment to upholding that ideal.
Well said!
Let's go, Kachina. It shouldn't take more than 2 of us to handle an enemy like this.
Sorry in advance, but
There aren't many in Natlan who can beat us when we're together. Need a surfboard? Jeanette has wave! Carbon wave! Surf's up! Ship down! Clear the area!
A glimpse of the view.
Off we go. Let's ride!
we won! We actually won!
That's what he gets for underestimating.
Fantastic work, Kachina! Absolutely fantastic!
This makes me so unbelievably happy. I'm happy too, Moalani. Together we really are unstoppable!
Huh? My ancient name is glowing?
But it's probably a projection from the real world. But that doesn't explain why—
Wait, does that—
That was a bold move, diving headfirst into the fire to save your friend. Still, seeing you pull it off, everything you said was exactly right. As isolate, it took years' worth of scars and lots of unnecessary suffering. The Pyro Archon's plan will unite us as one. Only then will we have the power to Tupac, a warrior from the people of the Springs. I fought against the Abyss during the invasion.
I've heard that name before. You were the giant who saved—
Since you were able to awaken my words from your ancient name, that means you have fully embodied. Under the name Umoja, you shall unite the tribes.
Me?
As long as blood still runs through your veins. Even the tiniest spark of steel against stone can ignite a flame. Its blaze will become one with our vision for Natlan. Even amid everlasting darkness, our bonds remain eternal.
That's what happened.
What do you mean? Did you just figure something out?
500 years ago, they foresaw the very crisis we're facing now.
We can go over the details once we get back. We shouldn't linger here longer than we have to. I know bits and pieces, but I had no idea Mualani was also—
This sounds like something that's going to need a lot of explaining. Let's focus on saving the one. Okay, that should be enough. Why?
I hear your voice, Kachina.
Great. Well then, I'm afraid it's time to say I was going to ask why you bestowed an ancient name upon someone. I'll keep searching within myself for the answer.
You are already an outstanding child in my—
Huh?
You are all my most beloved children. It has always been my honor to protect— Your ancient name is just that. A name. Much like your parents. Focus on who you want to be. You are already worthy of your name. The story of your ancient name is for you to continue. Just like your parents. It gladdens me to see the Pyro Archon's plan move another step towards completion. Go now, my children. Save Natlan on behalf of all you hold.
I know we've never met before, Wayab. Thank you for encouraging Kachina.
Whoa! What's going on? An earthquake?
We're out of time.
It's the power of the Abyss. Quick, we need to run!
It's a Seelie! The Seelie opened the way for us!
You've done well. Now
¿Qué
come
más?
home.
¿Qué pasa?
Bueno, pues el arconte voló alto.
Ah, pero que ha muerto.
We're
Le han cortado la cabeza.
The Pyro
serio?
Archon saved us.
But she's not
Mentira.
here.
Ah, yo sé.
Yeah, didn't she say
She's still in the Speaker's Chamber. What we saw in the Night Kingdom.
So you're saying
Every great display of power.
You must feel terrible, Kachina. Let's get back to the stadium. The Pyro Archon said she'd have a doctor.
I recommend getting a full checkup, just to make sure no damage gets left behind.
Paimon feels okay. What about you, Traveler? Right. You always seem to do pretty well against the Abyss.
Let's get going. We need to share what we learned in the Night Kingdom as well.
Right. The Wyatt mentioned something about the Pyro Arc.
I'll let her explain everything. We're all a part of the plan. Every move we make from here on out will decide Natlan's ultimate...
Huh. There's a lot less stuff here than before.
It's good to see you all here in one piece. I know you must have a lot of questions, but let Koichi check you over first. It's best not to let...
Thank goodness you made it back. I came here as soon as the pyro... Take a seat, everybody. All right, that should do it for now. But I have to say, though, I've never seen anyone react to the Abyss.
He always has been special like that. He can even purify its power. Wait, now that you mention it, Paimon doesn't think she's...
Given the current situation, that ability will likely play a great role in...
Of course. I still have patience to see, so...
Thank you, Koichi.
All right, all right. We might not see eye to eye, but just give it time. I'm sure we'll figure things out between us one day.
Yeah.
All right. There's so much to discuss, I don't even know where to begin. You've seen it for yourselves. I'll get straight to the point. Natlan is on the verge of destruction. It's very possible...
Huh? No.
That's right. But I've only ever disclosed that fact to the handful of people working with me. Our looming destruction is not a recent development, but the inevitable conclusion of the disaster
Mualani told us a little bit about that.
500 years ago. All the nations of Teyvat were unlike the other nations. Natlan never had stable and deep-rooted ley lines, so we suffered. The battle against the Abyss was exceedingly long and brutal. Even then, it took centuries of solving the disasters caused by the... And still, this is but a superficial victory. The forces of the Abyss have merely been driven...
I'd never...
The problems plaguing the Night Kingdom are all the more complicated because that realm is essentially immediately after the war. Our calculations estimated that we would have a maximum of 5... But at that time, we were a nation of the destitute. Our people no longer believed in victory. Our civilization was dying, our faith crumbling, and the line of... If we didn't bring the nation back together, it would be foolish to even... So, the Archon had a long and involved discussion with the heroes.
So that's what happened. After finding Kachina, I encountered a strange figure who gave me... Since the plan was mentioned in those memories, I guess I've been chosen to play him, but there's still something I don't understand. Those memories showed me the pyro...
Huh? But that doesn't make any sense! The Pyro Archon is supposed to be...
That's right. The hardest thing for humans to overcome has always been time. A god can extend a human's life by using a certain amount of... But, as we all know, Natlan doesn't have gods like that. We can only... A human life is like a flame destined to be extinguished. 500 years only by dying before my time could I have...
So... In other words, this is your second life?
Yes. We only managed to defeat the Abyss all those years ago because if the Natlan of the future was to have a fighting chance, The Pyro Archons that came after the war had to rebuild. The goal was to reunite the people and restore the strength of each tribe's Wayab. Once a tribe was back to its full strength, the tribe's Wayab would select a hero, indicating the tribe was once again the chosen. Would then stand by my side in defense of our nation.
So that means
That's right. You bear the ancient name Umoja, the same one held by the hero from your tribe 500 years ago. After your adventure in the Night Kingdom, I trust you've come to fully—
So in other words, you always knew who—
Yes. According to the plan, each tribe was supposed to have been fully restored by the time I awoke. The 6 heroes successfully inherited the ancient names from 500 years ago. Once again, it comes down to the deterioration of the Night Kingdom.
Just like how the Ode of Resurrection failed to bring
Exactly. It's just another tactic the Abyss is using against us. The Abyss, if we want to unblock that information from being passed on, my presence alone isn't enough. The ancient— So, I've tried my best to help them from the sidelines. Currently, Shalonin of the Children of Echoes, Kinich of the Scions of the Canopy, and Iansan of the Collective of Plenty have all been acknowledged by their names. During your adventure, you too earned the acknowledgement of your Wayab, Mualani. In the process, you gained the memories stored within—
But we have less than a year!
Yes, but we have no choice. We cannot start the plan until all the heroes— That's also why I haven't been able to take action despite the urgency of the situation.
But if you knew this whole time, why didn't you just tell me about my role in all this?
Perhaps, but the opposite could also be true. Knowing your destiny too early could mean failing to realize your full potential. Just like your determination to save Kachina, I hope your commitment to this endeavor comes from your own strength of will.
So I suppose you're not going to tell us who the final 2 heroes are then?
That's right. Their time is yet to come. Putting pressure on them beforehand will only— I can only trust in the judgment of the Wayab. I have never believed I could solve this crisis alone. In fact, it was precisely because I chose to trust— Natlan's salvation lies not in its Archon or any singular individual. You're quite perceptive, aren't you?
Huh? Oh, right! All of the stuff—
Even though I sacrificed my power, I still needed it. After all, I was the one who allowed you to take that risk. And Mualani has an important— In addition to their sentimental value, the items I stored here help—
Fuel?
Yes. The stories embodied by those items are certainly important. But there's an even more significant trait. Over time, they became imbued with a certain amount of contending fire from being carried in battle. On their own, each item's power is limited. But together, their combined effect— By burning those items, I was able to activate the contending fire stored within them. It was a rather crude approach, so all their power was depleted in an instant.
But weren't they all precious treasures? What about their—
That's exactly why I dragged you all here. No matter what, I know—
You have nothing to be sorry for. You all deserve my thanks, actually. If you hadn't saved the totem pole, that area of the Night Kingdom would have been— And then, it would only be a matter of time before the Children of Echoes was met with— Besides, when those heroes entrusted their belongings to me, or the Pyro Archon of their time, if they knew those items helped save the present-day heroes of Natlan—
Even when you put it that way—
There's no need. Remember what I told you about the people and the events of the past are never truly lost to us. If you still have regrets, let them fuel your resolve in the battles. Your deeds will become new legends and nurture new forms of power just like the items once—
Well, we'd still like to return the favor.
Well, if that's the case, just treat me to a drink sometime. Now that Kachina has returned, we can finally hold the victory feast and celebrate your team's triumph, and we could all use the rest, that's for sure. Plus, you'll be able to silence every—
Still, now that—
Try not to let it get to you. It's important to stay calm. Worrying about it will only— All right. You should head out. I'll join you in a bit.
was young, I used to sit by the hot springs and listen to the stories. They attract people from all walks of life. The people of the springs have never claimed the hot springs as their own private property. It's been really nice seeing the children of my tribe get older. I've witnessed their energy, their determination, their absolute... even when they cause trouble, I never managed to hold on to my anger for long. I'm certain Mualani will become a great warrior when she grows up. She possesses infinite One day, when I'm no longer in fighting form, I'll come here and tell stories to all the children. So, you better get busy, Pyro Archon, or I'll end up running out of stories.
Our nation is engulfed in darkness. Our tribes stand. The Abyss is a cunning enemy. One that my rage will never know absolution. But you came to me because you knew you could convince me. I understand your choice. The heroes of today will forge the path ahead with blood and fire. Just remember, otherwise, rest assured, I'll find a way to collect the for Natlan.
So, you're gonna head 500 years in the future? But what about the you from right now?
You can't ask her those questions and expect her to answer, my dear. That we will do everything we can to rebuild the tribes. Don't you worry, even across time. We will all do our part to fight for Natlan's.
Yeah, Mom's right. We'll always believe in you. Oh, seriously though, Dad should be here.
I imagine he didn't know what to say. Just remember, no matter what happens in the future, we will always love you.
I'll come find you one day. I know I can't live that long, but I'll think of something. There has to be a way for us to meet again one day. If there's an answer out there somewhere, I'm gonna find it. So, don't forget about me.
Ay, pobrecito.
If that's your decision, then you have my full support, Archon.
May our children live to see such a lovely son.
For Natlan!
No one fights alone.
The rules are my legacy. They shall grant us the strength to...
War forged the 6 tribes, taught us how to fight.
Who will be the one to bring this to an end?
We are the inheritors of those who grew alongside Sun, those who forged our own destiny and future. That is Natlan's fire, the lifeblood of our nation.
victory feast too?
Oh, no. I knew Chaska would be here, so I just came to deliver some medicine. I was about to leave, actually. No, it's not that I don't want to celebrate Kachina and the others. I'm so glad she made it back. It's just... well, I'll make things awkward if I'm around my sister right now.
Ah, well, you two had a fight, so Paimon can understand.
She didn't cause any trouble during your trip, right?
Yeah, she was super helpful. She gave us a lot of useful information about the...
That's good. That's all I needed to know.
Is there a reason you asked? You were pretty outspoken when we...
Maybe it seemed unreasonable, picking that fight with her before you left, but I did it for a reason. Her impulse to fight is extremely strong. Her mental strength helps her rein it in, but she still loses control sometimes. I had no idea what you might face in the night.
So what you're saying is...
Okay, so maybe it sounds a little stupid, but it works pretty well. Anyway, I'm just glad you were able to make it back safe and sound. That's all.
But do you really have to go that far? Can't you just talk?
No way. Chaska never opens up about her own. I appreciate the understanding, and don't worry. I'll find a way to help her ease this burden. Oh, and if you ever need a doctor, you know who to find.
Huh. Who would have thought there was a deeper reason behind their arguing? In the end, it's all the Abyss's fault. Paimon's had enough of...
Let's give a huge round of applause to our brave young warrior, Kachina!
Woohoo! Well done, Kachina. Thank you, everyone.
I always knew you could do it. With so much potential at your age, you have a great future ahead of you.
You're one to talk. Don't think I didn't know you were the first person to abandon your team.
I had no choice. My friend invited me. I couldn't just say no.
Oh, really? So you weren't just trying to get ahead in the first round?
I wasn't, I swear. I just happened to find that bearer injured in the wild, so I stopped to bandage his wounds. When he insisted on repaying the favor, what was I supposed to do? I'm just one person.
But the fact of the matter is that after your departure, everyone else started thinking...
I'm really sorry, Kachina. It was wrong of us to abandon you.
It's amazing that you still made it all the way through to the Night War.
So, what about you?
Our team captain drank too much the night before the competition and turned up late.
Serves you all right. No sympathy from me.
All right. There's no need to be like, dear friends, firstly, I'm grateful to my friends and this traveler and his companion Paimon are some of the strongest people I've ever met. They've agreed to let me learn from them. With their help, I believe I can... And let's not forget my good friends, Moalani, Chaska, Kanich, and Ayan-san. They all helped the traveler and Paimon figure out they too deserve to be called our heroes. So...
Well said!
I'll drink to that.
How does it feel being a hero?
To be honest, it's a bit... Well, you better get used to it. Next up, undefeated... Hey, please don't make fun of me.
Ah, you're here. Have some fruit.
How did you know? That's my...
You look like you've still got questions. Ask away. Because they had their own lives. The thought of telling them, abandon your families and everyone you love, and come with me to the end, you could just as easily point out that everything in this world would come to an end eventually. Imagine if I said, let's leave right now, and go save the sun because it'll flame out. I couldn't make them shoulder that burden with me. Besides, every generation will have its heroes, this one included. The plant, or, of course, without me. But since I was the one who...
I'm suddenly remembering that portrait in your room.
Yes, it was. So when you asked me who my sister... From what I've been able to piece together, I can conclude with the reason she played an instrumental role in rebuilding the scions of the Canopy tribe, designing and building many houses. Still, it was an impressive achievement, and I'm very... You feel loss keenly. It seems to stir up feelings of regret. This is a war, and there can be no war without loss. I am already far more fortunate than the people of Natlan look to me as their Archon, and the weight of their expectations is mine to bear.
Yeah, doesn't that mean the way everything ends has already been written, including your plan?
I suppose, but so what? Don't forget, time takes many forms, even if the future ends in destruction. And it's precisely because we humans cannot know our fate. This is a pivotal moment. Well, 3, to be precise. There's one further. Your resistance to the corrupting power of the Abyss is truly remarkable. If you agree to join us, you will not only gain my full support in your...
Ancient names can be forged?
They can. Several strict conditions must be met, but if possessing an ancient name would mean that your adventures in Natlan are recorded in... The Ode of Resurrection may have temporarily lost its power, but still... Take this as my just like in the Night Kingdom, I will be there for you. That is a promise.
Yeah, we can't just ignore the situation here.
Wonderful. Then I'll reach out to Shilonen right away. We've never forged an ancient name for an Outlander before, but...
My lord, we've received word that the Pyro Archon has lost much of her power. Although your injury complicates things, this is most certainly the opportune time to...
Victory and defeat are rules, not outcomes. I have never taken advantage of... As for you, I must confess...
No matter how dense the fog, as long as the sun remains, we cannot turn day into night. She could have... You don't have much time. And you're injured on top of that.
I'm beginning to see just how useful you may turn out. You heard something from here, didn't you?
Piedra angular del no sé qué. Ah, mira.